Hello friends, welcome back. And for anyone who is new, welcome. As you can see today, I'm in my kitchen, and what I planned on doing is taking you along as I prepare for the week. We just went to the farmer's market and grocery store yesterday, and that's usually when I start planning small meals, snacks, dinners. We've kind of already planned ahead before we go to the farmer's market. But yeah, I'd like to take you along, show you some of the intentional practices that me and my family have. First thing I'm going to make is oat milk. This is something that I make myself, or Ellie will make, or Azri will make, but we do make this a couple times a week. And all I'm going to do is blend 1 cup of oats with 4 cups of water in my Vitamix. I will also add 1 prune to it for a little bit of sweetness and natural sugar, and then it gets strained through this bag, which is me, Mother Earth. And then this sits in the fridge, and it has a spout, so we can pour it. After the oat milk is blended, it goes in the bag, and it will hang here to strain. Let's see. I have these little hooks up, which holds the string of the bag. And then before I'm done, I will have to squeeze this to get the rest out. And then the pulp, we either compost or it gets fed to the dogs. The next thing that I like to do every week is to make up some iced tea, which is fresh tea that I will brew in these little containers. I'll brew it in this 1/2 gallon, and then it'll sit in this container in the fridge. This week we have some mint and some clover that Ellie picked in Michigan this summer. And then I have some raspberry leaf and calendula because my body needs a little extra nurturing, and this time of the month those two tend to help. Mint's always a go-to, and we love clover as well. We have multiple buckets of honey, which I use to sweeten our tea every week. I always put the honey in when it's hot and let it melt as it cools down. Do you want me to put hibiscus in the tea this week?
Sure.
Ellie is going to work on some crispy millet and peanut butter buckeyes.
Sorry.
And I'm going to make, in these containers here, I'm going to do overnight oats. Again, something I do frequently, but I basically just find whatever empty small jars we have. So this week we have, what do I got, 6 of them? I got 6 small jars this week, so that's what I'm making. I got oats, and what do I got? Chia seeds, goji berries, flax seeds, and then I got some currants, some figs, and some pumpkin seeds. All this will get layered into here. And then we will add oat milk powder, water, shake it up, and they'll sit in the fridge. And then when everyone wants to eat them, they'll be there. When making the oats, these are dry, only fill them halfway. The rest of the way will be liquid. If you've ever had dry overnight oats, it's not tasty. And since Ellie has this out, one of the ways that we save money is we buy containers. I don't know if you can see here, this is 25 pounds or 11 kilograms of peanut butter. And so far, we're, what are we, 2 months in? See how long we get. We clearly like,
through it.
We like buckets of things. Here in this bowl, I have peanut butter and coconut oil. I'm also going to add maple syrup. And then I'm going to go through this stuff and decide what I want to put in my granola. Obviously oats. I'll probably do flaxseed and chia again. I got sunflower seeds and pumpkin seeds and coconut. And this is just like a jar of snacking fruit we've had. I might throw some of that in there. But it's definitely going to be a peanut buttery granola, and this we will mix with oat milk and eat like cereal, or we will just eat handfuls of it like gremlins over the sink. Before I mix up the granola, this is what I'm working with. We have that mixed nuts, sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, currants and coconut pieces, chia seeds, flax seeds, the oats are underneath. You already saw the peanut butter. And then I have honey drizzled on top. That's what these little droplets are. Ellie has got her mixture made up. All she's doing now is cooling them in balls before she dips them in chocolate. And I'm going to mix this up. And then both will be on baking sheets with Silpat. This one's specifically for macaroons, where mine's one of these. But this is what they'll bake in or sit in the oven. We try to not use parchment paper unless we have to. And then we got Java, my pretty girl. Oven is set to 400. Granola is set to go in. And then I will cook this, mixing it a few times until it starts to smell like it's cooking. Usually like 15-20 minutes, turning it twice, maybe 3 times. Tonight, because I'm doing all the kitchen prep, we're gonna do easy dinner. So I'm gonna start that now. We got black beans, and I got chili powder, garlic, cumin, and turmeric, which will go in there with some water, and then we will cook it on the bean function, which that's not, I do it about 33 minutes. And then the beans will be ready and waiting for tonight's dinner, which will be black bean tacos. For dinner, I have some help. We got a bell pepper, half of a giant red onion, some quinoa, some kale, some cilantro. Robbie's gonna cut up veggies for me, and then we're gonna cook things up. The quinoa and the black beans will go together, and the kale will get cooked up separately, and then we're also going to use some masa flour, and we're going to make some tortillas. And now Robbie's my helper. He's the one with the knife skills. I'll focus on that.
Why?
That knife is sharp.
Yeah, no.
All right, water is boiling. We are ready to make tortillas. We have peppers, onion, salt, pepper, and chili working here. Chili powder. We have corn masa flour and salt sifted together. There's 2 cups of that. And to that, we're going to add 2 cups of the boiling water. And I will show you what that looks like when I'm done. And then I'll also show you how I press out corn tortillas. If you are not making your own tortillas, you're missing out. These are some of the easiest things to make. So we're going to make the corn tortillas. And something I wanted to point out is the key for me to making these, you use equal parts corn masa and boiling water. The key is to use the hot boiling water. When I've tried this with warm water, when I've tried this with cold water, you just don't get the smooth tortillas we're looking for. And you mix it until it forms a dough. Once your dough comes to room temperature, it's still a little warm, but once you can handle it with your hands, now we're going to break off individual pieces. If you wanted this to be even, you could weigh this ball and divide it up by however many tortillas you're going to make. I just happen to know that's about the size that I go with. Goes down in the pan. Now we used to have Ziploc bags. Those actually work the best, but I don't have them any longer. So now we just use wax paper. Very hard to do this one-handed. And then we will take the tortilla off of here, and it will cook here. And then we also have some kale getting sauteed up to also go in our tacos. When you're making your tortillas, when you go to press them down, if they don't peel off the paper cleanly, your water and your flour ratio is off. If it's too wet or it's too dry, it'll stick. With wax paper or a Ziploc bag, it should literally, you just watch, peel right off. Or if it is sticking to it, just adjust either with more water or more flour. That's the fun in cooking, you get to discover every time. Tortillas are cooking up. I just want to say, my first one never has color on it. And no matter how long I cook it, I never seem to get color on it. But this one will cook, it'll have black on it. I'll show you. And then kale's almost done. In between making tortillas, just cover up your dough. If not, it gets too dry. If it does get too dry, you can add a little bit of water and that will help. So this is what we're gonna use as our meat in our taco. This is leftover rice and quinoa mixed with the black beans I made earlier. And we're gonna combine those together with my taco spices, garlic, cumin, turmeric, and chili powder. And then I will put a little bit of that black bean water in there to get it all tasting delish. This is what my quinoa, black bean seasoning, and it is a little liquidy. It is going to cook down, so because I used the liquid from the beans that I cooked, there's still residual starch, and starches will help this to thicken up naturally. And so this will thicken up only like 5-10 minutes, and by then we should be done with tortillas. So this is what we're looking like right before we eat, and we got about 16 tortillas with 2 cups of flour. We hope you enjoyed hanging out in the kitchen with us. We're gonna sit outside and enjoy this lovely meal, and we hope wherever you are and this is finding you, that you are having a beautiful day or night, and we love you.
Dead.